Hello folks, Frankie Day back in YouTube again. Okay guys, for this Sunday evening, while the GLOBEMASTER is drying, so far I haven't done anything since the build we did last evening. Tomorrow I'll go ahead and continue on sanding the wings down and prime them and put them in place in the fuselage right there and get that all ready to go. And we'll go ahead and continue on the video tomorrow evening. Probably, highly likely, probably this Tuesday, fellas. We'll get back on the GLOBEMASTER. Right now, I'm going to start another build right now. After making that review of that Revell 1/72 scale Shackleton, I've been toying with the idea of, well, you know, you're pretty well caught up a lot of things, a lot of your planes and everything, so you got that GLOBEMASTER going down. And so it wouldn't hurt to do another build, keep it going until the Typhoon build kicks in. And so I go ahead and I made a decision. I'm going to go ahead and take a crack at the Airfix 1/72 scale AVRO Shackleton, the early MR2 model. And I got everything here laid out right now as per plans only. The parts that hadn't been moved from the sprues yet, though, but we'll do that as we get the build commenced. I had a very enjoyable evening last night, fellas, of making that video. It's the first time I've ever actually construct a model right before your eyes, and I got a pretty good self-satisfaction enjoyment out of it. So it sure beats seeing my ugly-looking face and talk about the subject in general, and take a look at the subject, come right back to yours truly, and that's it with the video. So this way, when I'm building and relaxing and chattering away and more or less reciting the construction of the kit itself, gives me a lot of satisfaction. Okay guys, we'll go here, we'll take a look. Just a little refresher course of the kit I'll be doing here. This is the new Airfix 1/72 scale Shackleton MR2, the early model. Now the one that Revell did, they did the chin radome, the ASW radome that fits on the bottom here. That's the later MR2 model. The MR2 model is you got your metallic anti-submarine detecting boom, or whatever it is. It's retractable. It comes up similar to that of the United States Navy's Grumman S2F Hunter Killer. This dome is actually retractable, goes inside the fuselage. On the kit, it's probably optional, either raised or lowered. But this is the kit I was going to do, but I was really at first wanting to do the Revell ones. No, let that ride a little bit. Since this is a new one, came out by Airfix, and I'm going to take a crack at it. So we're all going to take a crack at this kit, and we're going to go ahead and start building this big bad girl. And so right now we'll go over here and we'll start commence the build right now together, fellas. So again, this is going to be another online build like that of my GLOBEMASTER, so I might as well get used to it, because I think it's very satisfying for me, and I know you'll all enjoy it as well as I do. Okay guys, enough chatter. Let's get back to this Shackleton, the old flying spark plug, the Shack, whatever you want to call them, the Rivet Queen, or whatever it is. We're going to commence this build together, fellas. Okay, here we go. Focus this bad boy on the mat. Okay, there's the instructions right there, fellas. Let me back off here so we have a little. That's good enough right there. Okay, let's look at the instructions right here. We're going to commence with step one. It's the pilot and co-pilot seats. They consist of 3 parts. You got a check mark and you got an X. I guess it's optional. Either you have the pilot in position or out. So I'm going to leave them out. So I don't know what I'll do. I may put the pilot in there. I don't know. I haven't come to that decision yet. My main focus right now is to construct the sub-assemblies in the fuselage assembly only, and try to complete each sub-assembly as a unit. Okay guys, I was looking at the color callouts. For the life of me, I cannot find the color callouts on these Airfix instructions. Now they give me, what the devil is it? Oh Lord. Yeah, they gave me so far as color callouts they gave me this this color chart of two options of two versions of paint schedule wise. As far as the color call outs, it's all right here in the Umbro variety, and so I understand pretty much that. But the armrest calls out for Umbro colors 85, which possibility it could be a leather. I'm not too certain, so I'm going to take these plans to the hobby shop tomorrow, and then I'm going to make a check-off list what I need for paints. So as far as the painting I'll be doing this evening is going to be the priming of all these components right here. That's about as far as I'll go, and everything else will be airbrushed out as we go along. Okay guys, we're going to start out right now with the pilot seats. Take it from the box right here. There's some sprues here that have has all these parts here. So I'm going to be very careful not to lose none of these parts, because I'm pretty sure that's what happened to the turret. There's a part right there just went. Excuse me, fellas. It's a pilot's chair. I think I'll set that aside right there. I'll probably be using assembly. Yeah, like I say, fellas, when you take and remove these parts from the bag, you got to be very, very careful. You got to look inside, see if there's any parts running amok by itself. I can't find you in there. So I'll be using these sprues here, so I'm going to be very, very careful and take great responsibility in not losing none of these parts. Because I'm pretty sure I was very careless. I lost that turret to my my BB222. Okay, fellas, this must be sprue. What is it, G? Frame F. Let's see. You got part F16, which is a pilot. There's two of them. So we're going to move these co-pilots and pilot seats away from these sprues right here. Very carefully snip it off here using my sprue cutters. Set the sprue down real good. What I'm going to do, fellas, I'm going to set these parts to the side over here where I can get to them and clean them before I assemble them. And I got the armrest, which is G25, which is probably another sprue. Sure shooting it is. Oh, let's see. That's G here. Be very careful to lose those parts. Oh, armrest arm. Here we go, fellas. Right in front of my face. I'm going to go ahead and remove these here. I'm going to adjust this camera over here, fellas. I'm not really... I need to back off a little bit. I don't think you guys are seeing me too good. There we go. Use these clippers, so you have to be very, very careful when you're clipping these little fine parts off from the sprue trees. Because you can really damage them if you're not careful. We got one down. We got two. Oh, okay. These are the sides of the seats. There's four. Okay, guys. Put these back. Come back over here. I'm going to trim these parts right here. Let me get a little closer here, fellas. Maybe we'll get this camera position wrong. There we go. Okay, clean off these seats right now. Get some of the surplus sprue off there. And oh, that's good. The seat looks pretty nice. That's pretty good. Sometimes if you trim these very fine small parts off from the sprues, fellas, it more or less gets it off pretty good where you're supposed to be at without trimming. So I'm getting off pretty good right here in this deal here. So far there's no sprue sticking out on here. These parts are pretty well cleaned, ready for assembly. One thing's been awful difficult for me to handle these parts with these gloves on, fellas. I always like to work with my gloves on, but I'm going to make an exception this time. I take my gloves off. Okay. Much better. I can handle, I can feel the parts better. Those parts right there that are very small, I like to be able to feel them. Kind of dull your senses a little bit using those gloves, but I will go right back to them again, fellas. Yep. Yeah, this Airfix kit here is a pretty nice kit, fellas. I believe I made an inbox review of it one day. I'm quite certain I did. And so far I went through the kit. It's a very decent kit. I highly recommend you fellas buying one of these. They're around $42, $43. I think I've got mine for about $38 or something like that. I get off pretty cheap sometimes, fellas. You know, I guess it pays to be an old man. I guess I don't know, but maybe any way to save a couple of dollars is good enough for me. Good enough for everybody. Well, as I made the inbox review of the Shackleton yesterday, I more or less had some mentioning of three companies making three different Shackletons. You got the Frog, which makes the MR2, I believe, and Revell of Germany just released their new Shackleton, and it's a very, very wonderful, marvelous kit. I think it's about the best kit they ever produced since up to date. Yep. These little small parts, fellas, are a pain sometimes, but you know, it just takes patience to work with these little nibblers. And 1/72 scale is a pretty comfortable scale to model. It's about as small as I like to go with smaller scales. And like I say, when you get my age, and your eyeballs ain't up to snuff like they used to be. Okay, fellas, I got the pilot and co-pilot seat all finished and done. And the pilots are optional. You can paint them, put them in. And I'm going to leave them out for a while, may change my mind. And again, working with step 3, which is part F9, which is the pilot's floor, where the pilot sits in. Put my gloves back on, get myself in. And let's see if I can find part F. The sprue F here somewhere. I think I've seen it somewhere in here. Let's see here. Sprue F. Screw F9. 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 And you got F31, which is a throttle quadrant. I believe there's two of them. Okay, fellas, we got the floorboard there, pilot's floor, pilot's throttle quadrant. Also, we have the co-pilots. I believe these are dual assemblies. Oh, okay. We'll get back and start trimming some more parts here, fellas. Make sure these parts are good and clean before we proceed. Yeah, the detail of this kit is pretty good, fellas. Airfix needs to be congratulated for producing such a wonderful airplane. And they're really getting their game together, and they are producing some very fine models. They sure have really improved over the years since they've been in business. And they're still ticking mighty fine too. Okay, let's see. Alrighty. Well, over here, I guess I'm putting the pilot's seat in here. Boy, that was close. That was real close, fellas. Almost dropped that seat right on the deck, and this rug is like a Houdini rug. That will be able up apart, you'll never see it again. There we go. Right there, fellas, we've got this seat on the pilot's board here. And one down there. We're going to put the throttle quadrant in there next. The throttle quadrant also looks like to me I got a trim wheel right here. Okay, this concludes the pilot's department. Oh, I got the yoke I got to put in there too. I ain't that done that yet that quick. What is that F? Yes, it is. Here we go. What I like about Airfix now is the plastic they use. It's kind of soft. A real soft, very pliable plastic. And it's really good plastic to work with. It's very forgiving. It won't snap and bust on you. Okay guys, we'll go over here. We're going to glue the pilot's yoke in position here.